the previous talk, we talked about what anger is, what purpose does it serve, and the different kinds of anger or the levels of anger. Whenever anger reaches an excess, it will always force a person to do something that is harmful and hurtful. It will lead to a person doing something that they will regret, but also something that will cause themselves or other people serious harm. Take a look at the crimes around the world. All the crimes of aggression, whether it's murder, it's assault, it's some kind of abuse. All of these are the results of some sort of anger, someone who was not able to control their anger and address it. And at a smaller level, even if a crime is not committed, how many fights, whether it's a verbal one or a physical one, occur because of anger? No one gets into a fight when they're sitting all calm and collected. Fights happen and damage occurs when people are angry. So one of the first things that we have to understand very well about our own anger is whenever we let it go out of control, it's going to result in something bad. Whenever anger is left uncontrolled and we act it out, it's going to result in something terrible. Something terrible for us, something terrible for other people. That's why we take a step back and we make a conscious decision that I am not going to let that happen. I am not going to be the one who gives up something very important in life because of their anger. And what kinds of things would we be giving up? In some cases, it means giving up your reputation of being a nice person. In other cases, it would be giving up a friendship. In other cases, it would be giving up your education because your anger led you to do something that results in your enrollment being terminated. In some cases, it means giving up your freedom because of whatever you did in anger, it ended up putting you behind bars. Sometimes it ends up making you lose a great deal of money if you damage something or damage property, and then you have to make up for it and pay for it out of your pocket. It incurs huge losses. Anger incurs huge losses. The first element that is required to deal with anger is your own logic, your own intelligence that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put inside every single human being. And when we do not approach our emotions intelligently, they will get the better of us and they will result in our failure. So that's the first decision, that I'm not going to act this out. I'm not going to be the person who brings upon themselves these massive losses. Second thing is, the Prophet ﷺ has taught us to do certain things when we're angry. And we will defer to those things every single time. So one of the first things and the easiest things is to say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. And to repeat it over and over again, because it's shaitan that will push us to do that thing in anger, which is going to do all the damage. So we take protection from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We take protection in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from shaitan and from the inclinations that he sparks up inside us. And the second thing is we change our posture. When we are angry, our posture becomes very aggressive. So the Prophet ﷺ taught us to change our posture. So standing, if a person is standing, they're much more likely to do something that's going to hurt someone. They're in a better position to hurt someone when they're standing than when they're sitting. So he taught us that if you're standing, you sit down. And if you're sitting and you're getting into this, and what happens when people are sitting and they get really angry, what do the people you normally do? They get up. They get up and it makes them even more aggressive. So instead we'll do the opposite. He taught us that if you're sitting and you get filled with rage, then change your posture, make it even more neutral, go and lie down somewhere. And the third thing is to use water. Water, it will calm down that flow of blood that's going out of control, that heartbeat and that blood rushing through your veins. Water helps calm it down. So drinking water and going and performing wudu, which will cool off your limbs, your extremities, these are some immediate things that we can do. It will dissipate the anger, it will bring it down to a level where we can control it. And we will take this conversation forward, inshallah, in future sessions. Wa sallallahu wa sallama wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi.